Everyone, happy Friday, December 30th, last Friday of the year, last plant-based morning show of the year. We're headed into the new year and just got back from a nice little break. In fact, a lengthy break for our companies, Compliment, No Meat Athlete. So that's been really nice. That's why we're not doing the show for the past week. But we're back, and we'll be back, of course, on Monday, and then for the foreseeable future into the new year. So I'm excited about all those things. Here's Doug.
Five,
He's joining us.
four,
He's got
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
a countdown from Doug. Very nice.
Hap-
Would have been a lot better if it wasn't hearing it out of my phone speaker, making me think my audio is not working.
Uh-oh.
How about now, Doug? Can you say something?
Yeah. Happy
There
New
we
Year,
go.
Matt.
That worked.
Happy holidays. Happy birthday. We missed your birthday. I was kind of bummed. I thought maybe I could convince you to get on to do a quick birthday celebration, but then I didn't even reach out and try. So
Yeah. Yeah, I would not have been too enthused to do that. I don't think, only because I wasn't planning on it. If we thought of it ahead of time, maybe. But anyway, yeah. Thank you very much. Turned 42, which is kind of, I don't know. Seems like an old one. It's first. I don't know. I mean, I guess they all feel like old ones now. But 40 was 40. I was all good with 41. Fine. 42 is like almost into the boring numbers in the 40s where you
Yeah.
don't even kind of think about them. And that to me, so I'm gonna wake up and be 50 pretty soon. It's kind of where
Yeah.
my mindset is.
I mean, your days are numbered at this point. So
Yeah, I think so. But thankfully, with technology, we have still the prospect of living forever is right
Yep.
around the corner. As long as we can start gaining 1 year for every year we lose, 1 year of expectation, then we'll hit escape velocity and we will have nothing to worry about.
I would love to know how everyone's holidays have been. We got Dale Stevens saying that she was having withdrawals from the show, so it's nice to be back.
Yes, that is nice. Always good to be missed, and it was nice to have a break, but I do miss doing the show. I like it's fun to have this little daily, everyday check-in habit. Mr. Jeffrey's here, Jonathan James Life, other regulars are here, so that is all good. The real Matt Fraser's here. That's Erin, my wife. I'm on her phone today because mine was low on power. Yeah. So anyway, this is just going to be a quick kind of check-in show. For me, Monday's when it all begins. It'll be a new year. I have some really exciting. Well, I don't know if they're exciting to other people. I have a lot of thoughts about what we might be able to do with this content in general, but this show too. A little bit more serious, a little more professional. Not in the attitude that we do the show, but in the amount of content we can put out and the regularity with which we can put stuff out. So anyway, none of that is at all set in stone yet. It's only just forming in my mind, but I'm really excited for the new year with that. So beginning Monday, we'll be back to normal shows. Hopefully the plant-based news will start happening again and we'll have some stuff to talk about, which is always helpful when you do a show that's mostly about the headlines. But anyway, that would be fun. So we can get into a little bit of that today, predictions and whatnot, resolutions, even if you've got those. But anything, Doug, certainly there'd be something noteworthy from the past week that, Christmas, we talked a lot about the Christmas celebrations coming, families, cooking we were going to do, all that stuff. Anything of note for you?
I've got a couple things.
Okay.
First of all, it's a thank you to this community because the night of the last episode, we were going to have a family Christmas movie night, and we were going to watch the Polar Express, and everyone said, no, don't do it. Instead, you should watch, the consensus was The Grinch, the 2018 cartoon version of The Grinch. And it was a huge hit, very successful. And I went back just out of curiosity and started watching the Polar Express for a little bit and didn't even make it like 20 minutes in. Grinch was a much better choice for the family. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to this community for pointing us in the right direction.
Good. I mean, you know what? The Polar Express, the movie, is not I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. It actually is all right. My kids, it was sort of one of their like annual movies that we would watch. It just has some parts that aren't in the book, and they're just like weird. And Tom Hanks has all these different characters, and the animation's weird. So yeah, not a great one. But one day when your kids are a little older, worth watching. Just just don't plan a whole big night around it. Watch a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's good. I have not seen that Grinch one. I didn't really watch many new Christmas movies. I kind of watched the same ones I have, but I did end up watching a bunch. Home Alone, Home Alone 2, holiday handcuffs, of course, on Christmas Eve. So I got my share, and it was atypical for sure, but it was good. And cooked a ton of food. We just my in-laws, my wife's family, they just left. I think she's C Baldwin maybe when she comes to the show on Twitter. She's here fairly often. Their families, and so we just cooked a ton of food. I don't know, 2 or 3 meals a day, different things. The mulled wine. We had the truffle meal with my mom. But like, I'm just so I don't want to say tired of cooking, but like tired from cooking. Like I just hit this point where I was like, I just can't cook any more meals. As fun as it was, I really enjoyed doing that stuff and made all the things that I had said I was going to and several more. So that was all really fun. And now now my dad's visiting, so now I'm just we're just in a little bit more of a chill out mode and looking forward to thinking about the new year and all that. Which I always like to do, as I think a lot of people like to do as we approach it, and we get kind of some quiet time, a weekend heading into it. So it should be fun.
Yeah, we just had family leave yesterday. We had 10 days straight of family in town, and it was a lot of fun. We did a lot of cooking, a lot of drinking, a lot of fun hanging out. But man, sometimes getting back into that routine. Yesterday we had burritos for the first time in 10 days. This is my first homemade Tex-Mex meal, and I gotta say, it just felt so good to be back into those staple foods. And what I realized when I was cooking it last night was that it was the first like vegan plant meat that I had the whole time.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that much plant meat either. Maybe because we had family in town, we weren't.
Oh, you know what? I'm lying. We had sausage in our casserole for Christmas, but that was the first time we cooked it for a dinner. And it was the steaks, the Beyond Steak stuff.
Oh yeah,
that I'd been saving the other bag because it was okay on its own, but I thought it'd be better in burritos.
Right.
Sure enough, it was.
It was not surprising.
Absolutely delicious.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Only other things I've got. And they're all actually related to what I'm thinking about for the new year. So I'll go ahead and make that segue. As expected, because I saw the Walmart transaction come through on my cash tracking app. Aaron got me a deadlift bar and weights for my birthday, so that's cool. I've been able to do some deadlifts and Olympic lifts and things like that using a bar, which I've never had at home before. So I'm really excited about that. My in-laws got me a Hug Sleep, which is like that blanket thing. I guess it was on Shark Tank. And it's like a full body. It's basically a body condom that you put on your body.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you. Yeah. And I think it says like it's a full body hug or a hug for your whole body. I don't know, something like that. So I know that. And I really like it. It's great. I had some good nights of sleep, some not so good, but more alcohol and stuff than usual. So it's been hard to tell.
Is it cozy? I mean, does it feel good?
It feels like you would imagine a baby who's all swaddled up would feel. It's kind of like a cocoon. So I like that. I don't know if everybody would. In fact, I'm sure everybody wouldn't. But I like it a lot, and I'm pumped about that. And then my mom got me a bunch of non-alcoholic beer, which we had said on the show would be a good gift for somebody. If they had expressed interest, not maybe to force on somebody, but if they seemed interested, then get them some of that. So I'm all set for a damp January. Is that what the word was for like a drinking
damp
less
January,
kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm set up for that, and I don't know. I'm really excited about specifically trying to sleep better. It's bothered me for so long, and I thought if I can solve that sleep problem, I don't know. It's just my whole day to day. Everything will be better. So I haven't thought about any official resolutions or anything, but that's one that I definitely want to. I don't know. I would love to figure that out. So the alcohol thing obviously is tied into that, and so on.
Do you so that Snuggie thing or whatever it's called?
Yeah, hug sleep. I think.
I mean, you don't do a ton of camping, but you do some camping. Do you sleep in a mummy bag when you go camping?
I don't know what that is. I would just bring a normal sleeping bag.
Well, like a sleeping bag that's like tailored, kind of like a mummy, like shaped like a mummy.
No, I don't have that. I just have whatever we have. Some
like
kind
a rectangle bag.
Basic amateur level camping. Yes.
Okay. Well, okay. So
I actually don't go camping. Let's clarify that. I don't go camping.
I've known you to do some camping.
It's been 5 years, probably.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's because it is a little too much outdoor time for you. But the mummy bag, or a sleeping bag that's tight. It's it's designed to keep you warm when it's cold out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, similar shape. You can't really move around. You can't spread your legs. You can't do anything. It kind of hugs you in. When by the end of the night or the next morning, I just want to like stretch out and like spread my wings and fly. Do you feel that way after several hours in that little
Yeah. When
blanket
I
thing?
wake up in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 a.m., I'm like, I definitely want to get my arms out of there and turn over and whatever. And I try to resist the urge. I'm still trying to figure it out. The thing says sleep at least 5 nights before you make any judgments about this thing.
Hmm.
So I'm still trying to get to that. But yeah, I definitely have some of that feeling. Um, but even though I want to spread out, it doesn't mean that like it wasn't a good thing for me to sleep not being able to do that, because I tend to think that if you can't move your limbs around while you're sleeping, you might end up sleeping better just because you
Mm.
don't, put them into weird positions and then lay on them and have things fall asleep or whatever. Uh, so I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
and I think they have different options that have like little holes and things for feet and stuff if you want.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'll let you know how it goes. Rachel Tacky Fresh on Facebook says cutting alcohol out is a total game changer, and I highly recommend it. Yeah, I've never like really wanted to stop drinking before. Every year, it's always been like, well, I should drink less, especially after the holidays when you just celebrating and more food, more drink than usual. Yeah, I always hit this point where I'm like, that is enough. Like I'm ready for just less. Or at least I should. I feel like I should. This year, I'm actually at the point where like I'm actually really looking forward to the benefits of not, and that's kind of different. It's not just like I should do this for my health. It's more like there's a lot of really good things that would happen if I just cut drinking, say, in half. I don't really have any desire just to stop because I really do enjoy the vibe of that.
Yeah.
But the benefits, I've never really focused on them before, so I'm kind of excited about that. And the
Yeah.
non-alcoholic beers make it so easy now. So that's I don't know. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Good. I chose several. I chose Athletic Brewing beers many times over the last week.
Mhm.
Usually during the day. Like if someone was drinking an afternoon drink or something like that, and I would have typically joined them.
Yeah.
It was the perfect time to break out the non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it really is a good replacement for whatever that extra drink would have been. And if the extra
Hmm.
drink, whether it's in the morning or the late, not morning, the daytime or late at night, uh, it's just a nice replacement.
So I
Also,
got two.
sorry, really
Oh, go
quickly, I
ahead.
can't let this one go. Lindsay Morgan from Facebook says we watched Holiday Handcuffs and Night Before Christmas. That's KNIGHT time travel at Matt's recommendation. So I'm glad to hear that. She didn't actually say thanks or that was good. She just said we watched it. But I'm glad to hear that.
Mm.
What were you
So
gonna say,
I had two gifts that I want to call out today.
Okay.
In part because they also relate to my kind of New Year's thinking and New Year's resolution. One is I got a bathrobe for my cold plunges, my
Nice.
cold dips,
Good.
my creek dips, and I did my coldest one yet, which it
Ooh.
was like 18 degrees outside, and the river was frozen along the edges, so the
Uh-huh.
water was quite
Wow.
chilly.
Look at you.
Beard froze before I could dry myself off
I think I
after
saw a picture of this. I think Aaron showed me a picture of this at some point.
yeah. But I used the robe and it was wonderful. It was great.
Okay.
Um, and then the other one I want to call out is really it's not all that exciting except for maybe you. I think you'll appreciate it. I got a new bike helmet. I don't know if I told you I was asking for that for a mountain biking helmet, one that has a face shield.
Oh, okay.
And I took my first over the handlebar tumble,
Right.
landed right on my face. Did I tell you the story already?
Well, I thought I knew you had taken a tumble, but that was pre-Christmas. So had you
Yeah, okay. So
gotten?
I pulled out the helmet before Christmas and used it that one time, and then
Oh,
put it
okay.
back. So it was a Christmas gift, but it had already been used, and it went
Gotcha.
underneath the tree, wrapped back up with a little bit of mud still stuck
Right. Yeah, I would
in the
imagine.
face mask. So so yeah, but I thought you'd appreciate it because I'm taking
I do appreciate
extra
that.
precautions
Yeah,
to make sure
definitely.
that my face
Good for you.
is beautiful for this show.
Yeah. If you're gonna do something dumb like ride a bike, I love that you're taking proper precaution to not get killed from it. So is it like a
Mhm.
motorcycle helmet? You look like a motorcycle rider with a big face shield?
I mean, it kind of. I mean, it's a mountain biking helmet, but it has a much more streamlined face shield than like a motorcycle helmet. It's not nearly as big and bulky, but
Okay.
um, yeah,
Gotcha.
and it actually detaches. So you take it off, you unclamp it, it detaches. The face shield part detaches. So when you're like going up or on some rolling trails and you don't need it,
Hmm.
then you don't have to do it. And then when you just throw it in your backpack or something. And then when you need it, you just clamp it on. And
And
you're
when
good
do
to
you
go.
decide you need like how come I don't see road cyclists wearing face shields? Because you hit by rocks and branches and things.
Yeah, you're probably more likely to go over your handlebars
Okay,
on a mountain bike or
gotcha.
run a tree or something.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Um, and Mr. Jeffrey is as well. Says that's great, Doug. Got to stay safe. He also mentioned my fingers, and I did make that same the dish that
Oh, the
the
pomegranate dish.
the Chloe Coscarelli appetizer dish, white bean spread, which is still a great dish with mint and pomegranate. And I had no incidents. I was a much safer chopper than I used to be. Actually, that incident is what inspired me to learn how to actually chop things safely. All right, good. So Doug, what else? What else are we thinking for New Year's? You mentioned, well, I don't know. Did you mention resolutions? You said something relates to a resolution, but I don't know if you said what it was.
No, I didn't. So I have 3 that I'm focused on here.
And you're all locked in. These are official.
These are locked in. Yep,
Wow.
these are
Okay.
official resolutions that I'm announcing on the Plant Based Morning Show
Okay.
for the world to hear, and they will go in the 2023 wrap up a year from today.
Yes.
So these are 3 resolutions. Let me tell you, none of them are all that like big and grandiose or exciting. But I
Okay.
think that if I can do these 3 things, then you're smirking. Why are you smirking? What was there a comment that? Or
No,
you
no,
just
no,
you're
no,
just
no
laughing?
comments. I was
Okay.
just, you know what I was thinking about the pull-ups, your pull-ups resolution from a couple years ago.
Well, you know what? That's one of them. I'm bringing it back.
Good.
So none
All
of
right.
these are super grandiose, but if I can do these 3 things, then I think it will mean that I've done a lot of other things,
Okay.
and that will be positive. And one of them is to finally do my 5 pull-ups, to
Okay.
be able to do 5 pull-ups. And last year, I tried to basically just use playground equipment, or anytime I was around something that I could hang on, I would do it. This year, no, I'm buying a pull-up bar. I'm buying
You're
some
buying
sort
one.
of apparatus
Okay.
to ensure that I actually am practicing and getting these pull-ups in
You haven't
every
yet, though.
day.
When are you planning on getting this bar?
Today, I'm going to do it today.
You're doing
I,
today.
I finalized these resolutions this morning after we talked about discussing them. So I haven't
Right.
done it yet, but I'm going to buy it today. It's going to
Okay.
arrive on the 1st, maybe.
Okay. Perfect. Just
Maybe
in
the
time
2nd.
to begin. The second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And on the first,
I
you have to go
mean,
to the playground or something.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to arrive on Sunday the 1st. So let's say, and Monday is a holiday. It'll arrive on the 3rd. It's going to arrive on the 3rd. And that's when I'm officially beginning
Okay.
my pull-ups. All
It's
right. So
shaping
that's
up
the
to
first
be a
one.
good one.
5 pull-ups, which is really about just kind of a little bit more whole body fitness,
Mm-hmm.
whole body strength. That will complement my second one, which is to race an ultra marathon. It's been a couple years since I've raced an ultra, and I want to get back into it. I'm not going to declare what distance or what race or anything like that. I just want to get back into racing, and I think that hand in hand with my 5 pull-up resolution, which I know a lot of people will be laughing at.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
That's I feel good about that. And my third one is so we've both flirted a lot with meditation, and most recently I think you've talked about how you don't believe in it anymore, and you're
Yep.
anti-meditation.
I'm not anti-meditation.
You're anti-mindfulness.
I think it may be a scam, but I'm not opposed to it.
But and I have gone through periods where it was really instrumental, especially like during the pandemic and stuff. It was really a big important thing for me. But I have gotten way out of the habit there, and so I don't want to set a new meditation habit, because I know every time every time I do that, I do it for a little while and then I fail. This time I want to change it. I want to focus on breath, which I think is a little bit connected to if the cold plunge stuff, the breathing
Wim Hof.
technique is Wim Hof. So I don't have a plan there, but I want that to be some sort of breathing practice, breath practice, to be something I do every weekday.
Okay. Good. I like it. Related, Mr. Jeffrey says, "Come to Mendocino. I'm sure Sid would love to have you." He's talking about the Mendocino Coast
Mendocino
50K, which is Sid's race. Sid, though, happens to be really into the Wim Hof breathing stuff and even
That's
the cold
right.
stuff. So you could look up him as a resource, give him a text or something, and say, "Hey, what do I need to do?
You're
Where do I
right.
start?" He might be able to help you. And he's a small stepper. He's a habit change guy, so that might be just who you need to talk to.
You know what? I'm going to do it right as we get off this. I'm going to give him send him a text message.
All right. Glad to hear that. I like it. That's good. I've actually read the exact same thing about you said about the pull-ups. from this guy Pavel Tsatsouline, the kettlebell guy that I like. He had some article a couple months ago, saying that if you can get yourself, I think he was saying 15 or 20 pull-ups, like if you can get to do that, and he's talking about high level fitness guys and girls. But he said, if you can get yourself to do that, it's a sign of fitness. It's not that makes you fit. It's that if you can get yourself to do that, it means you're fit in a lot of other ways. Right? You can't have too much extra weight. You got to have the strength. You got to have good core strength. All the stuff that isn't necessarily what you get when you do pull-ups. It's just a good indicator of fitness. So I really like that as a goal that is designed to not just be about doing pull-ups, but to be about fitness in general.
Yeah.
So
I just got to do it. I just gotta do it.
You gotta have a pull-up bar. That's step one. You solve that problem though on January 3rd, which I love.
That's right.
You could run out to like Five Below. Those kind of stores tend to have those little bars that you can put in the doorway. If you wanted to start on that day.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
I don't know other Five Belows in the area. I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, I know what a Five Below is, but I cannot even think of the last time I was in one. So
I think there's one in Nashville somewhere.
Okay. I mean, probably like Palladian Sports or Dick's would have a pull-up bar.
Oh right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you should go get that so that you are ready to go when the clock turns 2023.
Okay. All right. I think I could do that. You can pull that off. No, I think you're right. I mean, why wait till the 3rd when you can start today?
Well, at least when you can start the 1st. Why wait till the 3rd? Good. Well, you're further along than I am. I may be making some fun, but I have not gotten anywhere with that. I've been so busy and just like I said, in celebration mode. So I am thinking, but I congratulate you. I always say you should get your resolutions set and started early. I have definitely not done that. So you have bested me in that one this year, Doug. But I'm gonna have some good stuff. And once we start back on Monday, I'll have some stuff in mind that I can share for sure.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I've got. Shout out to T. John James, longtime listener of the podcast, first time to tune in live. That's good. Love to encourage live participation. That will be one of the focuses of the new year to get these live numbers up.
You know what? I had somebody. I had a cousin come up to me who I don't see very often. Come up to me. He said, over the last year, I've downloaded new podcatcher apps just so I can subscribe to your show so that it increases your numbers, which I'm not encouraging everybody to cheat the system, but what I do want to encourage everybody to do is subscribe and like the podcast on, at least on iTunes, give us a rating. Because that sort of loyalty really helps us go a long way in spreading the word, getting on top of the charts.
It does. Yeah. We don't tell people to like, I don't know. Can you like the,
yeah, I think that was the wrong word.
Right. But I mean, can someone who's watching this live, can they click a like button somewhere to tell Instagram this is good? Or is there really nothing you can do other than
I don't know.
engage?
Good question.
You'd think we would know that by now. This is what I'm talking about. The seriousness, right? Professionalism. We should know what we need to do. So that's on my list. But anyway, who is that? Paul, who's the cousin who's doing all that?
Breck. Shout out to Breck.
Shout out to Breck. Thank you, Breck, for being a super fan. Or at least wanting to help. Good. Okay. So I don't have any, like I said, no resolutions to share just yet. Anything else, Doug? We did the recap kind of stuff, like the big headlines of the year. We have not been doing this show or paying close enough attention to the plant-based world, really, I would say, to do, I don't know, a big, like, here's what 2022 meant for the plant-based movement. We kind of already did it anyway, via Veg News' headlines. But what about predictions? I know you've got this little band of misfits trying to make mushrooms the big thing of the year. I think it was you and Aisha, the Whole Health Experience, and then somebody else. I forget who it was. Maybe Jody Shuck, one of the other regulars, joined you. I don't think it was Jody, but so that's what you've got going on.
Definitely 2023 is definitely the year of the mushroom, without a doubt. That's just.
How are we going to measure that? We're just gonna. I mean, I guess Google. We can do all these Google Trends, and we can figure out if it really does go up.
I think we could also measure it by how many times we mention mushrooms.
How many times we do, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Because we're the trendsetters, so
we're in that.
No, I don't know. That's a good question, but I think we're just going to start seeing it places. But we talked about this before. I think we see it in whole food form, but also see it as a part of the plant-based meat, the growth of the plant-based meat. People using mushroom in a new way. to help replicate meat texture and products.
Yeah, that I like. So I was trying to think what could I predict? What might happen in the plant based world this year, based on just some level of awareness now with having reported about it for the past 3-4 months, whatever it's been. I could like the stuff I got was fairly obvious because it's the stuff that has been true for the past 10 years. Like there's going to be new studies that come out that keep linking more and more cancer risks and things to or I should say prevention of those things to a plant-based diet. Right? Obviously, we're going to keep seeing that. We're going to keep seeing fast food restaurants get more and more of it. Just seeing it sort of infiltrate mainstream culture. I guess something could happen that would totally disrupt all of that, but I just don't think so. It does not seem. I know there's like these carnivore diets and Liver Kings and all that stuff. Obviously, that's going to always be there, of course. I think we're just going to keep seeing the same thing. The one interesting thing that I will predict is I think we're going to see some sort of move away from these plant-based meats, or at least quickly beyond these plant-based meats.
Like what you did there.
Yeah, because I sensed from the people I've talked to, the non-vegans, not even that interested in plant-based diets, when I talk to them about this diet, they say, do not get the plant meat thing. Like, why do you want to eat all that processed stuff instead of real meat? Is it even more healthy? And all I can say usually is, it's probably more healthy than red meat in some ways because we know red meat is a carcinogen according to the World Health Organization. But other than that, I don't have that much ammo that would let me argue that these things are healthier than animal meat. So I don't know. I don't think that is going to keep happening. Certainly, maybe that'll move into the fast food world, perhaps, especially if it becomes cheaper, which right now it's not. But I think I think this process. This is not a bold prediction here. This cultivated meat thing. I think we're going to move very quickly into that, and people are going to start talking about that and getting the exact same thing that they can view as about as healthy or the same health, but without harming animals, environment, etc. I just think we're going to start seeing a shift away from these what's currently out there and towards this new stuff. That itself is not even a bold prediction, right? That it's like the predicting that the technology is going to improve and we're going to go to the next thing. That's what happens in every industry. So not like I'm going out on a limb, but I just think we're closer than we may realize to the plant-based meats as much as they're all in the news. I just think we're kind of past that.
Interesting you say that. I think that the cultivated meat, the kind of move towards different types of meat, non-plant-based meats, is, I mean, that's going to happen. Like it's happening right now, and I think that is the future for sure. But I'm gonna kind of counter the move away from plant-based meats a little bit. I'm gonna think. Here's my prediction: that we're not going to start seeing a whole bunch of new plant-based meat companies. That we're not going to be seeing a whole bunch of new like versions of types of meat, types of plant-based meat. Right? This year was steak and chicken and seafood and all that stuff. I think that's like that stuff is all going to slow down. We're just going to have the staples. But what I think we are going to start seeing is more integration of plant-based meats into other products.
Okay.
So I was texting you last night. There was a new pizza that I hadn't seen before that had Beyond Meat on it. And then basically like a Hot Pocket with Beyond Meat in it. And I think we're going to start seeing more of that type of stuff where there's just in the frozen section, there's going to be burritos or raviolis or whatever that have these plant-based meats in them, so that they just kind of subtly become more and more available through other packaged foods, if that makes sense. And what maybe, this is maybe my bold prediction, which I don't know how bold it really is, but right now, if you're at a grocery store, or not a grocery store, if you're at a restaurant and they serve Beyond Meat, it's a burger, right? I mean, maybe there's Beyond Meat tacos or something like that. But like if they're serving a plant-based meat, it's not in a sauce or I don't know, like integrated into the meal. Yeah, I think that there might be, what we might start seeing is actual like stews or like bolognese sauces or whatever that actually have plant-based meat in it. Again, just kind of integrating it into the thing, so it becomes an offering that's not just this thing that's so focused on the meat, but it's more focused on the dish, and now it has plant-based meat in it.
But then who's going to get that dish? I mean, obviously the vegans will, And this is why I think it's going away. Not going away, but, maybe we'll start to fade out compared to the cultivated stuff. Just because like I said, I don't think mainstream people want that. I think they see that and they don't think, oh, this is a good chance for me to get a meal that is meatless. I think they would think I don't want that processed junk, and then there's no benefit. So I think you're right, because we are certainly seeing that stuff happen in the frozen section. Lots and lots of those new products, like the examples you just sent me yesterday. So that's awesome. I hope it does keep happening, because I like it. I like having those options as a vegan. But unless we're talking about a whole lot more people going vegan or close to it or vegetarian, then I don't think there's going to be mainstream demand for that stuff. Like that, who knows? What do we know? And I think we're just talking about this country. I saw those McDonald's is now 1,400 locations in UK and Ireland. Made a deal with Beyond Meat, 3-year deal. They're going to have a double McPlant burger, I think, or something like that. Maybe not quite that name. But so that's that stuff is still exploding, obviously. But it just seems like, especially in this country, like it's been slower. So I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to buy it, but I do think I think we're going to start seeing more of it, and I still think it just needs to be normalized more. And that, I mean, that the more you see it, the more likely you are to try once and realize it's not that bad, or your stomach handles it fine, and then choose it again.
But couldn't we skip right over the plant-based meat in the bolognese sauce and go to mushrooms, which you're so eager to put in the food? Like, what if we just put chopped mushrooms that are kind of acting like meat? I could see us kind of skipping to that, because I think people can get.
I would love that. I would love that. But who's going to buy that? The vegans will.
No, I think, right? But I think the mainstreamers who know the health benefits of that kind of food, I think there's increasing awareness of those health benefits. But at the same time, with it is coming increasing awareness of the processed nature, the ultra processed, as we keep saying that term, that nature of these plant-based meats.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I'd be happy about it.
I would be happy about it too. I think it'd be great. But I worry that I don't worry, but I think that people still, when they go out to dinner, when they go out to a restaurant, they don't want a vegetarian meal. They don't want a meal with no meat. And this is an alternative that maybe they could wrap their head around.
Yep, possible. We will see. We will be covering all the headlines and keeping an eye on that trend in particular.
Absolutely. Yeah. If anyone else has a prediction for 2023 or thoughts on ours, please share them in the comments.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. Jonathan James Life wrote in all caps, "Hey, Instagram, this is good." That was in response to me saying, we need some way to, is there something you can do? Mr. Jeffrey says they can only like the thing if we repost it. So when we repost the thing, they can go, but I don't think people watch those very often because they're not live. So they're not going to go like that. Anyway, we'll figure something else out.
Matt, are you doing anything fun to bring in the new year?
Well, my dad and his wife are in town. They're staying with us for a few days, so they will be here through New Year's Eve into the New Year's Day. No, I got to figure out a good meal. I'm trying to not go crazy with the cooking, but I'm going to figure out something nice to make on New Year's Eve for sort of happy hour, into the new year. I think last year we had paella that we didn't make, but got from, I was in Asheville, so we got it at Kurate, which is a great restaurant in Asheville, and they have some vegan options. So, something like that. I'd like to make something just nice, but otherwise just at home. I don't even know if I'll stay up. I'm sure my dad and his wife, they tend to go to bed early. So there will be a lot of pressure to get to sleep rather than stay up. I don't mean pressure from them. I mean, as people start to drop off, it just gets harder and harder to keep watching Justin Bieber or whatever's on TV.
I don't think I've stayed up to watch those things in a couple of years.
No, I usually make it still.
Yeah,
but I don't feel too badly the next morning when I don't. It's
right.
Kind of good.
Yesterday I was in the grocery store. We already talked about that. I don't know why this keeps coming up, but they had a whole display that was collards and black-eyed peas, like massive display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the produce section of I don't know. I guess it's very possible they just dumped them out of a can, these black-eyed peas, but they were in containers that were
right
that made it look like fresher beans, and then the bundles of collards were just absolutely massive. So I have never actually done that. I've never done that tradition of black-eyed peas and collards. I learned a couple weeks ago that it's a Southern thing that a lot of people don't know. I've never heard of that. But since I was there and I saw it, I decided the display worked for me. So we picked it up, or I picked it up, and we're gonna take advantage of it here.
Good.
On the 31st. Yep. Or I guess on the 1st.
I think
Could
it's
be
on New
the
Year's
1st.
Day. I think I think you do it on New Year's Day. So I have known for several years since I've been in the South about the black eyed peas thing. I didn't really know that collards were a part of that tradition. I thought they were just sort of a Southern food that might, in other circumstances, be served with black eyed peas. But I will make sure to include that. Or actually, I will do some more research to see if that is part of what is required to get the good luck vibes. By the way, I have a great way to make collard greens. You roll them up in like a cigar, tight as you can cigar roll, and then as thin as you can possibly slice them so that it's like a chiffonade of this huge collard leaf, and you get these, strings, spaghetti almost, of or confetti of collard greens, and then like a super hot pan with oil, garlic, red pepper, and you get them sort of seared. It's just so good. And then lemon juice. I mean, it's like it's if you can't get a kid to eat a vegetable, I don't know how anyone would not like this.
Huh. All right, that's good. Good advice.
Maybe I'll make that and put a picture up or something.
Yeah.
We will see. All right. Well, good. How about you? Any other plans other than making that? Anything special? Some sort of hike, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't have any other plans yet.
No. Are you going to redouble or re-up on this this outside trend? Like try to get twice as many hours this year?
Good question. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. I don't want to make a decision, a family decision, without speaking to the family. So maybe I'll share that news on Monday.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I like it. Then,
yeah.
I guess that's it, Doug. We've made it 41 minutes, a little longer than planned, perhaps, but glad to get a check in here. And like I said, Monday we're back in business, normal. We're Monday, right? We're working Monday, Doug.
Yes, we're back in business on Monday.
Good. Okay, so Monday back to normal, and then this show's first entire year will be very good for this show. I think we're gonna make something special in the new year.
We're gonna do some big things.
That's my biggest prediction. This show's something that we're doing with content is going to, by the end of this year, look way different, and we'll be very proud of what we have built.
Mm-hmm. And you can be proud to be part of the initial.
That's right.
Whatever crew, PBJs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching us all year long, those who have. And thanks to everybody who's new as well. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your new year. Be safe, please. If you're out there driving around and all that, use utmost caution because it is not a good time to be driving around.
No.
All right.
All right.
See you later. See you next year. I'm going to do that bit. See you next year.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See you next year.